young voters took to the polls this year in massive numbers, helping to stop the red wave so many pollsters were expecting. According to national surveys, it was the second highest voter turnout for young people in the past 3 decades. At nearly 30%, the majority of them voted Democratic. News Nation's Nancy Liu is live. And Nancy, the youth vote really made a difference.
That's right, Nicole, and the young vote may sway even younger. Here in Southern California, many are awaiting the fate of ballot measure VY. Student activists here at Culver City High School want to push the voting age lower from 18 to 16. Whatever the outcome, the national enthusiasm of young voters made this midterm election extraordinary. In voting lines across the country on Tuesday, a lot of young faces. At the University of Michigan, it was only the young in this long line that stretched across campus. And among the millions of mail-in ballots everywhere, a healthy share sent by voters between 18 and 29.
Young people want to feel represented, and they're not going to take a backseat to this. They're going to be proactive. And we've seen that all across the country, both with voting and with youth organizing.
That ground game was at work months ago in many states.
We had a voter registration drive that I helped run, so it was a really good experience talking to other students, like my peers around me.
We can't let different generations continue to exclude us and make us feel like our voice doesn't matter.
In Florida, young voters helped to elect the first Gen Z representative to Congress, 25-year-old Democrat Maxwell Alejandro Frost. A nonpartisan research group at Tufts University is tracking young voters and their impact.
We're seeing young people, Democratic-leaning votes coming out in larger numbers and often preventing what we might call red wave or red tsunami or whatever it may be from actually happening.
Analysts say among the issues driving many young voters, the economy, abortion access, climate change, and student loan debt.
And this is a really powerful example of how their voice and their vote can matter, and I think it's only going to embolden them going forward.
Now, proponents for lowering the voting age argue that 16-year-olds should have a say since they're old enough to work, pay taxes, and drive. Republicans argue that in criminal courts, those under the age of 18 are processed as juveniles. Now, in some cities in Maryland, 16 and 17-year-olds are already allowed to vote.
Top spot of the most significant, but I mean, hands down, young voters played an extremely large role in this election. You mentioned at the top of the segment that several Republicans had been predicting this red wave, a massive influx of Republican wins on Tuesday, and that just simply did not happen. That was not the case. Several analysts now are attributing that lack of a red wave to young voters who really came out in significant numbers. 27% of voters aged 18 to 29 voted, which made up 12% of the electorate that voted in this election. So again, really massive numbers that even caught the attention of President Biden at his press conference on Wednesday. He gave a shout out to those young voters who really came out in droves and helped stop that highly predicted Republican wave.
You know, and Michael, traditionally, young voters, the turnout is very, very low, dismally low sometimes. But what specifically spurred these younger voters to buck that trend?
Young voters typically vote based on what their main priorities are, and that worked out well for them this cycle because a lot of those issues were at the forefront of this election. Take abortion, for example, and reproductive rights. That became a top issue this cycle after the Supreme Court struck down Roe v. Wade over the summer. So a lot of young voters came to the polls to vote on that issue. There was also the topic of gun violence after we saw a spate of shootings in the past year. That's an issue that oftentimes galvanizes young voters. That was on the forefront of this election. Also issues like climate change, and let's not forget about the economy, which consistently polled as a top issue among all voters. Take just recently when President Biden signed an executive order for student loan forgiveness. That really could have galvanized these voters to head to the polls, which they very clearly did on Tuesday.
Well, Michael, based on these numbers, which can't be ignored, I know there still needs to be more analysis since we're only a few days out. But in the future, do you think we're going to start seeing, both parties maybe change the issues on which they focus to really target these younger voters?
I definitely think so, Nichole. I think that's a high probability, and it's because as...
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.